I am Gilbert.
And I am George. We are
Gilbert
and George.
When we left St. Martin's School of Art, we felt a kind of outsiders who didn't fit into a system. And we went to all the galleries to find out if they would like us to have a show with us. And they all said no. So we thought we have to become artists without a gallery. One day we found this extraordinary record and we played it, and that's us. That's us. Underneath the arches, we dream our dream away.
Underneath the arches, I dream my dreams away. Underneath the arches, on Norwood down my lane. Every night of mine.
Gilbert?
There's a lot of bloody bollocks.
He's just a silly old queen.
We had to find a way of having art that we could leave behind. We couldn't just do the living sculpture in the gallery and then leave. That wouldn't be enough. So we tried first of all to write huge letters, we thought, like big visual love letters to the viewer. So we invented these charcoal on paper sculptures that would look like antique works of art.
Like you could find in some drawer somewhere, that we didn't want them to look like that, we did them.
We didn't want modern art, yeah?
Yes.
We wanted human art. And then we realized that people love them so much, and we didn't like that. We didn't like that they loved the paper, they loved the charcoal. We wanted them to love what we were saying. So we abandoned the charcoal on paper, which were based on the negative image. We had images taken photographically and then copied it in charcoal, and did it actually directly, straight from the negative. And then people couldn't comment on the form.
But then we had to find a form that we were able to speak more than just standing still there. And that's why we started to find what we call the picture. For us, was very important to create big pictures. No? So we are able to include full of stuff. No? Any image we could include, no? Sexuality, religion, loneliness, unhappiness, drunkenness, or the fears of the world. So it became like a novel. We found a new way of expressing ourselves, because we went to an art school where formalism was it. Squares, lines, circles, but we managed to make a human art because we made ourselves the center of the art. And that was the biggest invention that we ever did. Still, it's extraordinary because you can make people feel, cry, and talk about emotion, talk about sexuality, talk about religion,
Yes.
talk about everything. It is like a book. We are speaking to the world what we feel inside ourselves. The grid we used when we did the big drawings, because we were only able to buy sheets of paper 50 by 60, so we stick them together to make big, enormous drawings. And after we push the scattered objects together into a form or shape of a grid system, even now we are able to make an artwork that is 30 meters long that goes in one little case.
All of the galleries where we exhibited, the commercial galleries, were ones where everything we believed in was taboo. Yeah? They only believed in form, and we could only show in those galleries. We knew that an art that reaches people has to go beyond form, that the form must be there, but the form must carry the meaning over to the viewer.
We don't feel we have to invent anything, because it's all there. You just scratch the surface, it's all there. We are trying to speak to the viewer, and we're trying to make an art that's more human, a humanistic art that is not based on art, but on human beings.
We realized that the whole of the subject of the beard depends on where you live in the world and at which time. When we were teenagers, it would be impossible to get a job in England if you had a beard.
We were not thinking of beards immediately. We were thinking about walls, barbed wire walls, fencing walls, concrete walls, everything the world we felt was building walls to keep people out. And then we started to see holes in the walls, holes in the barbed wire walls, and then we started to see human beings looking through with beards. Then we realized there was that big classical the distinction is between beards and not beards, and like all the religious beards, the Muslim beard, the Jewish beard, the what do you call Sikh beard, and now the hipster beard that every night that we go to eat at Dalston half an hour ago, every young person has to have a beard. If not, he's not an ordinary a person anymore.
Without George, I wouldn't be an artist, probably.
And vice versa.
Yeah. And
We believe in being inspired by the pain of the world turning every day. Yeah. We always think of that.